Good morning, everybody. So nice to see you all today, and nice to see some new faces and returning faces. It's just great to have you all here on these nice warm days. Oh, yum. So welcome to the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. We're very glad to have you here. And I've already reminded those who are present, but those of you who are online, if you have anything that might be distracting you, such as a phone, or if you're on your computer and, try not to look at your email while things are going on. We just really appreciate that. And also, if you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube, if you would be interested, we can click on the icon for closed captioning, and that will help you if you're having any trouble hearing our service today. So welcome to everybody. And now it's my pleasure to welcome Susan Clark and Bob to lead us in our opening song.
Thank you, Marilyn. Good morning. Would you stand, please? It's kind of a mellow song, but we can put out mellow energy with it, right? Yeah, with your lighter. Yeah, it's the phones now, Gil. The phones, right? Oh, we don't have lighters anymore. Nobody smokes. In a perfect world. A little intro. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me with every breath, with every step. God is holding me. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 We're going to do all of it again, starting right now. I'm held in love. I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 I'm going to do that all again. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me.
Did you feel that big hug? So did I. It was so nice. Welcome again to Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome all of you who are online with us today. We are just grateful that you're here. We're grateful for everyone that's here and doing their part to make this day a success. We're here to transform our world with love in action, and that, of course, requires moving. That isn't always easy. Some days are harder than others, right? So I'm grateful to be up and moving today. It's a wonderful thing. Thanks to our tech team who worked so hard to figure out why we couldn't hear portions of the music before service. Thank you. Thank you for all of that. Thank you to the bookstore folks who are here, to our friend Doug, who makes sure that the doors are open and people can get in every day. I think Liz makes sure we have coffee. You know, there's a variety of folks doing a variety of different things that nobody ever knows. So I'm just grateful for that. Thank you so much. And we do have today a couple practitioners that are holding our high watch. We have Nancy and we have Greg. And we may have one or two out there online. We appreciate you as well. And for our reading and our vision and mission statement, we will have Marilyn Kirk. And there she is. And right now, we're going to have Marilyn O'Leary come up and official open with a prayer.
Official open. This morning I'm blessed to be here, and as I'm here I am inspired to remember that Spirit is of course in each of us and is here, and Spirit is everywhere. As I look around at the world, I remember I see Spirit is in the hospital rooms, is out on the street. Spirit is in my cool house, my blessed house. Spirit is in a playground. It's in every church and temple and place that raises its voice to God. Spirit surrounds us everywhere and always. And so remembering that, I remember that this service is blessed, just as every person who takes part in it, who has helped bring it into being, who is here, is blessed. And that we, as always, take our blessings into the world. And that is our action. And I affirm for every person here that whatever you came for, even if you weren't sure what it is, you are receiving. If it's health, love, abundance, comfort, joy, playfulness, relaxation, oneness, companionship, whatever you're here for, that you receive that now and you see that it is in you and that it's always there waiting for you to recognize it. And so I have this great feeling of faith and letting go, knowing that Spirit is in me always and is here just ready to say, okay, what is it now? And so being in the now, in the very present now, I say thank you. And please say with me, and so it is. Amen.
What a wonderful reminder of who we really are. So I'd like to take a moment. By the way, I am Gil Olmsted, the spiritual director here. I forgot to introduce myself and all of that. We're happy that you're here, and just want to make we always like to remind ourselves why we're here. So basically, there are 4 things that we can kind of come down to that anchor New Thought, Ageless Wisdom, or the Science of Mind, and just like to remind ourselves of those. And so first of all, as Marilyn so eloquently stated, there is only one power, and it is everywhere present. And we know that. And we know that how we approach the world, our thought about the world makes a difference. So it's really important to not get mad at ourselves for how we think, because there are times when, at least I, don't think the way I think I ought to. See how that works? I don't think the way I think I ought to think. That's the whole thing with thinking. It's way overdone. So just pull back those thoughts. And we know that everything is about love. Whether it appears to be an expression of love or a call for love, it's still all love. That's all there is. And ultimately, we are all whole, perfect, and complete in spite of ourselves. In spite of what we think, once again, we are. So you can't escape that. So don't try. Just come, enjoy the truth, hang out, be nice to yourself. That's the key. And in that, I really want to take a moment and welcome all of you who may be with us for the first time, or the second time, or the third time, or the first time in person, or the first time online. Does anybody fit any of those categories that wants to be brave enough to say so? All right, we got a few of them here. All right, very good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're online, please let us know in the chat, or go into on our website. There's a place you can say you'd like more information. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to welcome each other, and we're going to bless each other right now. So we're going to rub our hands together, and we're going to just send the energy out to one another, and we're going to notice each other and say, "We see you. We know who you really are. You are a unique, divine emanation of spirit. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank God for you." Welcome to Rio Grande. And now, Marilyn is going to come up. She is. She's going to come up. Here she comes. She's coming now.
Thank you. And so I'd just like to encourage all of you to join with me in our vision and our mission statement. And there it is. You guys are so on it. Thank you. And so repeat this with me, our vision: transforming our world with the power of love in action. And our mission: loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest self. Great. Thank you. And so today, as we have our guest speaker, Yvette, she's going to be speaking about something to do with a wise warrior. And so I looked that up to see if I could find a few quotes that were interesting about warriors. And so I have three. One is, and I don't know any of these people, Susie Kesem. "You were born a winner, a warrior, one who defied the odds by surviving the most gruesome battle of them all, the race to the egg. And now that you are a giant, why do you even doubt victory against smaller numbers and wider margins? The only walls that exist are those you have placed in your mind. And whatever obstacles you conceive exist only because you have forgotten what you've already achieved." The next quote has to do with Siddhartha Gautama. Is that pronounced correctly? Oh, good, okay. "Those who attempt to conquer hatred by hatred are like warriors who take weapons to overcome others who bear arms. This does not end hatred, but gives it room to grow. But ancient wisdom has advocated a different timeless strategy to overcome hatred. This eternal wisdom is to meet hatred with non-hatred. The method of trying to conquer hatred through hatred never succeeds in overcoming hatred. But the method of overcoming hatred through non-hatred is eternally effective. That is why that method is described as eternal wisdom." And the last one is short, and it's from Chogyam Trungpa. Ever heard of this person? Oh, you have, okay. "To be a warrior is to learn to be genuine in every moment of your life." So now we will have some special music, and then after that, we are blessed to have Yvette Trujillo, our own spiritual licensed practitioner, who has been a student of New Thought principles for nearly 25 years. I know she is so young looking, she started when she was 2. She's also a ministerial student, and her mission is to reveal humanity's inherent loving kindness and compassion. So once we've heard from special music, we'll have Yvette come up and talk. Thanks.
Okay, we got a toe tapper for you to start out here, or a hand clapper, or however you want to respond to it. It's by Janice Stanfield. Brave faith, brave faith. Let us love, let us live each day with brave It's a busy place out there, complicated world we share, working with no guarantees. I believe that what we need is what we need is brave faith. Let us love, let us live each day with sometimes we are slow to trust, wisdom hidden deep in us, fear of failure keeps us down. What we all could use right now is brave faith. Let us love, let us live each day with brave faith. Brave faith. Someday we can all look back, turning points along our path. That's when we will point with pride to every good choice, guided by brave faith. Let us love, let us live each day with brave faith. Let us love, let us live each day with brave faith. Let us love, let us live each day with brave faith. Bob Kermont helping out today. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That was fantastic. Thank you both. Good morning, everybody. Wow, this is at a different angle than I remember. I think I should have brought my reading glasses. God's got this. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm great. Thank you. You guys are so generous. I love it. Good morning. I am just thrilled to be here. One of the biggest joys that I have right in this moment is that my wife Belinda and I decided to take the class that's going on right now, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. That's what it's called now, right? So it's this shortish class, six sessions, and you know, I'd been coming back and I've been looking around. I'm like, wow, who are all these new people? Now I know who you are, and I'm so thrilled. I cannot tell you what a blessing it is to look around the room and to recognize your faces, but not just recognize your faces, but to know some of the stories that you've shared and your experiences. So that I have goosebumps right now, because one of the gifts of being part of community is feeling like you belong. Ooh, and in this moment, I feel like I belong. So, yeah. I know I cry easy, Belinda. It's okay. My wife's behind the camera, so adjust it if you can. All right. So we are in this beautiful month of July, super comfortable month of July. We are talking about speaking truth to circumstance. Okay, so we've been talking about that all month long. And today we're going to come to it from the perspective of the wise warrior. And we heard some wonderful quotes from Marilyn. Thank you. I was like, oh, I'm done. That's great. We're going to talk about it in the context of circumstances. So, first of all, warrior. What is a warrior? A warrior is a person engaged or experienced in warfare. And more broadly, a warrior is a person engaged in some struggle or conflict. So when we initially think about warrior, I know what I came up with was the experience that I've been having in the world for the past few years, which is feeling as if every day I get up in the morning and I go out into the world, that I am going to be engaged in some kind of combat, some kind of conflict with someone unlike me, or someone who does not like me, who doesn't agree with who I am, or the things that I say, or vice versa, that I might not agree with them, and that there's this potential, and I see it in the news, and I watch it on television. And as I was remembering that, and I'm going to invite you to do this for yourself right now, is think about, if that has been your experience at all, what does that feel like in your body? Just take yourself to that experience. What does it feel like in your body? I know for me, I feel contracted. I feel stiff. I'm keeping out. I am armored up. I am protected. And that, quite frankly, over the last several years has left me incredibly exhausted. Is that something anybody can resonate with? I'm seeing some nodding heads. It has left me feeling exhausted. So what if there was another way? What if there was another way for us to be in a world that is operating in the way that it is? Right? There are some things happening. We're watching some things. We're maybe engaged ourselves in some things. But what if there was another way for us to engage with that, other than to be resistant, other than to feel like I have to protect myself? Here we go. I'm going out into the world, and all the people who aren't in my tribe are against me. Now I'm being extreme. That might not be how you're leaving your house every day. But it can be how we begin to operate and unconsciously think. So one of the things, do y'all remember Jerry Springer? I remember watching Jerry Springer as a kid and being appalled. I don't come from a family that's, we are all like, everybody's so nice, and we're going to think about each other's feelings, and if we're going to be nasty, it's way back here, and you're not going to know I did it. So that's kind of how my family operated. And so what I experienced in that show is some real aggressiveness, some right in your face, and this became very popularized. And I remember thinking, this can't be good. As a kid, I remember thinking like this, seeing this, people cheering about it, I don't know what it is, but it just can't be good. So we have been living in a society, in a collective consciousness, if you will, that has taught us how to be outraged and how to jump up and down, and I don't believe it, and I don't agree with you, and this is why you're wrong and I'm right. Again, extreme. You may not actually be doing that, but perhaps if we took a little closer look within, that there might be some of that hiding in the back corners of our mind. Just a little bit. Now, being able to express anger in that kind of way, and anger is not bad, it's just a feeling, but being able to express anger in that kind of explosive, aggressive way might feel good in the moment. You might win the argument, right? But it's not very effective for long-term change. Because what we give our attention to, as we know, as we teach here, grows. What I give my attention to grows. And so therefore, if I am giving my attention and making war on the outer circumstances of life, that just empowers the circumstances, right? If we're following the logic of this philosophy and the way that we talk about it, if I am giving my attention to the war, to making war, to being engaged in war, then I'm empowering war. It's okay. Just take a breath. We do it. I do it. I'm not proud of it, but I do it. What do we know? What do we know? More than anything is that God is all there is. God is all there is. And no matter how ugly, how aggressive, how painful the world, the outside world, a set of circumstances looks, there is the presence of the divine. No matter how awful it might look, there too is God. In fact, this week in our class, we were talking about just that thing. Thank you very much for the prep. Appreciate that, Reverend Gail. And one of the questions that we had is God in the cancer cell. That can bring it really personal for some of us. Right? And if God is all there is, if that's what we believe, again doing the math, if God is all there is, then it's not except for here. It's God is all there is everywhere, even in the presence of conflict. And as we've been talking about all month long, when we commit to seeing things differently, we can create something different. So when we commit ourselves, and that's an important word here, commit ourselves to seeing something differently, then we can actually participate in creating a different world. One in which perhaps the conflicts that we are seeing in the world, the division, the divisiveness that we're seeing in the world can fade away into nothingness. The nothingness from which it came. The wise warrior then. What is the wise warrior doing? The wise warrior takes a step back and centers themselves prior to entering conflict. Right? So warrior, go in there. I'm getting in there and I'm going to get you before you get me. I'm going to win my side, my tribe, not yours. However that might look. The wise warrior stands in the face of conflict, takes a step back, and pauses. So what is that pause? What is the wise warrior doing? They are pausing to look past appearances. They are pausing in order to see the divine in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the fighting, in the midst of the war. But we need to pause, because there is a lot of programming that we have and a lot of experience that we have in the alternative. So we pause. We pause to center ourselves. I ran across a really powerful quote this last week in the Science of Mind magazine, in the daily meditations. And for those of you who have ever heard me up here, I'm a big pusher of the Science of Mind magazine. You can get it in the bookstore. There was in one of the daily meditations, there was a quote from our founder, Ernest Holmes, from his book, This Thing Called You. And he says, very simply, no harm can come to you when you know God is at the center of everything. No harm, no matter what you're seeing out there. No harm can come to you when you remember that God is at the center of everything. And I took it a little step deeper, because I'm a practitioner and that's how I work. And I said, I'm going to make this personal for me. So how I know that I am safe. Sorry, I'm going to do this again. I did it, I swear, all week long. No harm can come to me because I know that God is at the center of everything. And every time, remarkably, these last couple of weeks, when I have run into something that has scared me, something that has agitated me, worried me, I have been able to turn back to this, what I created as an affirmation, that no harm can come to me because I know that God is at the center of everything, including me. God is at the center. So once we can see, we take that beautiful holy pause as the wise warrior, we can see through to that reality, we can begin to coax it out. We begin to see things differently. We begin to notice different things than we may have noticed before. And we begin to shift a situation. Now, I can see that very clearly in my own very personal experiences, right? I'm like, I'm having a thing. Here's the person. I'm going to coax out the God in that. Okay. And then I have a transformed experience. I feel lighter. I feel more loving. I feel more expanded. I feel like a conduit for spirit, all the good, wonderful things that come out of that work. But I can see it in that moment or in some moments following that. When we're talking about doing this and thinking about it from a societal level, we might not see it right away. And our egos want to have instant gratification. I want to do something, and I want a result. And I want to do something, and I want a result. So we have to temper that a little bit. We have to temper ourselves. So how do we begin to shift ourselves? It's really simple. It's be curious in the moment. When you feel the stirring, when you feel the agitation, when you feel the upset, be curious about that feeling. And instead of anger, ask yourself, what else could be possible in this moment? What else is possible in this moment? Take that wise warrior stance and pause. The other thing that we can do as a regular practice for ourselves in order to transform our experience of the world being a place of war and conflict and needing to protect ourselves is to begin to practice looking for the good in all. We're invited to see the intrinsic worth. See, I have a little bit of resistance to that. We're invited to see the intrinsic worth in every single person we encounter. Every person. That includes your worst enemy. That includes yourself. In some cases, that might be the same person. Right? It could be. I'm not speaking from experience. But when we begin to look out at the world and see the worth, the intrinsic worth in other people, what I can tell you is that I have a little bit of resistance in that. And I'll share a little story with you. There is a particular person that is, it's a person that's in politics. Not who you're thinking. I don't know who you're thinking. A person in politics that every time I see anything from this individual, I hear them open their mouth. I see them open their mouth, and I hear them begin to speak. I get really upset and indignant, and how dare you? And oh my God, how could you be so stupid? Are you kidding me? You're dumb. And I don't even understand what you're saying. You don't even make any sense. You're ridiculous. Do you understand? As if they're hearing me on the television or on my phone, right? You are being ridiculous. Can you see that? Do you understand? And I get so upset. And then I see how arrogant they are. Ugh. That just triggers me. Again, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even stand. I don't know you, but I can't stand you. It's terrible. I told you I'm not proud of this stuff, but I'm going to share it with you because I think it's helpful. So if I took, and I have, we'll just say I did. I have taken, and I have to take it again and again and again. When I take the wise warrior pause, what I've realized is that I'm judging myself. For me, what I realized is that there was a part of me that was really afraid that I was dumb and that people were seeing me as dumb. That people didn't think I was very intelligent, and somewhere in me I didn't think I was. And that when I spoke that I wasn't understandable, that I was incoherent. I would just, and people are just looking at me blankly and they don't understand that I thought that's what I was doing, and that I absolutely did things in a way that were ridiculous, that people were just rolling their eyes at me like, oh my God, I can't believe she's doing that again. And I have a belief that I'm arrogant. And I might be all of those things to some degree. It's not that, those things might not exist in me, I'm not saying that, but I could see, as I took that wise warrior pause, that I was actually projecting a lot of the feelings that I have onto this person and some others in the world, right? I would feel really frustrated in the world. I could see after I did that I was annoyed and upset that people were judging me. And my feelings were getting hurt because people were judging me. But what I realized is I was judging myself. And I was putting it out there into the world. So the opportunity was to focus not on how dumb I think I am, but to look for ways that I think I'm brilliant. To shift myself. To heal that part of myself. Because in that wise warrior pause, I realized I wasn't fighting that person. I was fighting me. And what needed to be healed, and what needs to be healed, this is work that will be ongoing for the rest of my life, I am sure, is the relationship that I have with myself and the beliefs that I am holding. So focus not on how dumb I think I am, but looking for ways that I am brilliant. And you know what? There's a lot of those. There are really a lot of those. Focus not on how ridiculous I think I might be perceived, but how creative and uniquely expressive I am. Right? Like, I tell my wife, when she's saying something about me, I'm like, I'm precious, right? Remember? I'm so precious. That's what you can say. Not she doesn't say mean things. I'm just saying. I take it that way. So focus not on what's wrong with the other person. Here's the rough one. Here's the one where there's a rub for me. Focus not on what's wrong with the other person, but on what makes them right. The one person. Who's the one for you? Because I have that one that I'm sharing with you, and to think about not what makes them wrong, but what makes them right, and see their strength rather than their weakness. It makes me still. I can but I need to be right. I have these strong beliefs, and if I'm going to say that this other person has rightness within them, then am I wrong? I mean, we go weird places, right? Just be with that. Just be with that feeling. I have a quote from Thomas Merton, who is such a wise teacher for me. He's an American Trappist monk, a writer, a theologian, a mystic, a poet, a social activist, and a scholar of comparative religion. So he's a pretty cool guy. He says, our job is to love others without stopping to inquire whether or not they are worthy. That is not our business, and in fact, it is nobody's business. What we are asked to do is to love. And this love itself will render both ourselves and our neighbors worthy. It's hard to recognize, as a person who's been a part of Centers for Spiritual Living, before they were called Centers for Spiritual Living, religious science for 25 years, to look at myself and to recognize that I have been unwilling to leave behind an inquiry of whether they are worthy or not of love. This is a journey, my friends. That's the beauty of this life, is it is a journey, not a destination. We get to continue to learn and grow and evolve and get stronger and get clearer. But the beautiful thing is that we are not doing this on our own. We are intricately connected to one another through this beautiful web of life that we are a part of. And so when we operate in the world, when we are seeking to do this kind of work, we have to remember that we simply need to open our hearts and allow Spirit to operate through us. And our job in that is to pay attention to who am I being? Am I being love? Am I being harmony? Am I being peace? And that everything that flows through us then is colored by who we are being. So the job is not so much to pay attention to what we're doing, but what we're doing, and to trust that the divine that is operating through us has a beautiful conduit to operate through. It's easy for us, all of us, as we walk through life, to forget our connection to the divine and show up as monsters. It's not that hard. Can we be compassionate with ourselves? And can we be compassionate with others? Can we shift our focus, let go of running around in anger, and see the truth and the intrinsic value in every person? And when we do that, from that place of interconnectedness, we begin to have an impact on the broader world. And it may seem like it's a drop in the bucket, because we don't get that instant gratification. But we are absolutely making a difference. When you plant a seed in the soil, there's something happening that you can't see. The seed is bursting open. There are roots that are going forward. There's a shoot that's coming up that's not past the edge of the dirt yet. It's not poked through. Something is happening. Step into the faith that God is operating through you and impacting the entire world. Because you are impacting the entire world. Who are you being? Raymond Charles Barker, the author of Treat Yourself to Life, says, you are in the midst of a power which is saying to you, use me. Direct me. Express me. I am ready. Are you? So the invitation for this week is, when you feel disturbed by the world out there, pause. Take that wise warrior pause and ask yourself, where is the disturbance in me? Where is the disturbance in me? And the second thing is, practice seeing the intrinsic value of everyone you meet. Notice where your mind wants to dismiss some as unimportant and others as inferior or superior. Be gentle with yourselves. You're not bad people if you have those. You're not bad people if you have those feelings. So we have, through this beautiful philosophy, all these amazing tools for change. We have our principles, we have our practices, we have all these wonderful methods that equip us to be mighty and wise warriors. It's no little thing what we have through this philosophy, in particular at this point in time. Will you take that on? Will you own your power to affect change in the entire world? Because that is what you hold in the palm of your hand. These are our tools. This is our philosophy. Let's use them. Namaste. Do you want me to pray? All right, let's pray. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Come on a roll. And so knowing that the power and presence of the Most High God is right here. It is right in this room. It is in the chairs that are holding us up. It is in the technology that is streaming our voices and our faces out into some unknown land where someone is watching. The power and the presence of God is right here and right now. It's in my breath. It's in my heartbeat. It's in the sound of water in the background through that lovely fountain. And the beautiful skills that Susan Clark has, bringing us music and peace and joy and celebration. That power and presence of the divine that is flowing and moving through this room, that is making itself known through our heartbeat, through the feeling of the temperature of the air on our skin. That power and presence is infinite. It is omniscient. It is omnipresent. And that one power and one presence is flowing through my body and through your body, through everyone who can hear my voice. That power and presence of spirit is divine. It is genius. It is wise. It is joyful. It is loving. And that is operating and moving through each and every one of us. And not just our bodies, through our thoughts, through our ideas, through every interaction that we have, through every circumstance in our lives. That divine presence that is perfectly unfolding in every moment, that is absent from nothing, is making itself known and revealing itself for the love and the beauty and the harmony that it is in each and every one of us and in our lives. And as I know that we become aware of that power that is right here, right inside of us, in our thoughts, in our hands, and in our feet. I know right here and right now that there is a recognition of that power and presence, that the recognition that we absolutely can make a difference in the world, that we are not helpless, that we need not stand by and say, oh my gosh, this is so hard, but I can't do anything. We can change the world. And I know that in this moment that there is a realization, that there is an opening up, that our hearts are saying, yes. 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 We live in a universe that is in a conspiracy for our good. And so as we step forward bravely as wise warriors, I know that we are supported in every step of the journey, and that everything we do unfolds in perfect order. There is no other option. God is all there is. And so with a deep sense of gratitude for this knowing, for this opportunity to remember the truth that God is all there is, to remember the truth that I am in a partnership, that the divine is operating through me in every moment. I'm so, so grateful. And so it is with absolute confidence and joy that I fling my word into the law. I fling it knowing that it absolutely has to come back to me in form. And I give great thanks for that form that is making itself known now as peace, as harmony, as a society and a humanity that is loving and kind, and a world that indeed does work for everyone. I thank that sweet spirit that operates within me and within each of you. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you. What was going through my mind was, if you ever used to watch soap operas and they would have someone step in. And so today, in the role of spiritual leader, we have Yvette. I just want to say thank you so much. So we have the opportunity together to give of ourselves everywhere, always, and we all do it in so many different ways. And right now, we are talking about our financial abundance in particular. And I know many of us at home have done something online. Many of us here have done something online, or we're texting. That's going to show up there. But the idea is just to hold the thought of your gift and to say with me right now, I am abundant, and I give from my abundance. I am prosperous, and I give from my prosperity. I am blessed, and I give from my blessings. My blessings of spirit are as abundant as the stars, and so I give and I receive generously, and so it is. Amen.
God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God. Jesus said that I and my Father are one. We're made of the image and the likeness of the one. Since God is what we are, let God be what we show. Let's see the God in every face, everywhere we go. God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God. God is all there is. God is all there is in the beginning. God. Omnipresence manifesting cosmic unity. The ins and outs, the ups and downs, and everything in between. The power of creation is His gift to you and me. It's there for you to use to reveal your destiny. In the beginning, there was God. Bob.
And so in the beginning and always, we give thanks for the opportunity to give, for the opportunity to receive, for the opportunity to circulate, for the opportunity for this community to circulate its gifts. So with that, we just accept these gifts, accept the love that they represent, and continue to share it as much as we can. And so it is.
So it is.
Want me to do it? Okay. So I'm going to just take a moment to invite us all. If you're online, there are ways to request prayer, which include going to the website and requesting. Here you can write a note and put it in the box in the back. There's a form back there. There's something in the back of the chairs. But the special opportunity is to sit down with a practitioner for a couple minutes after service in our prayer garden. Please feel free to do that. We invite everyone to take a moment and do that. Thank you so much. And we want to invite everyone to join us after service in the social hall for a little bite. And if you are so moved on a Sunday morning to bring something with you to share, that would be wonderful as well. For that helps keep everyone's stomachs somewhat full. At least our taste buds are intrigued. And it's always fun. Is there anything else I'm supposed to? I think that's it. I'm going to invite, where'd he go? There he is, Lou. Lou is coming forward. I think this is his maiden voyage in this announcement ministry. And Lou and all of his friends are going to make some announcements now.
Yeah. This is the first time. Be gentle. I have a number of people, a platoon of leaders who are coming up for announcements following this wise warrior. I'd like to begin with Gilbert from the bookstore.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Lou. As you all may not know, I work at the Spirit Bound Bookstore. But what I'm here to do is to basically let you know as a community of some changes that we're doing. We've been in the process of making some upgrades and also something that could, share the wealth, so to speak. Okay? So, two things. Number one, I want to point out that we've started a rewards program. That means for every $50 that you spend at the Spirit Bound Bookstore, you will eventually get a reward. And that reward is $5 for every 50. If you don't use it that month, it will continue until such time as you redeem it. Now, it's automatic. What we are asking you to do is fill in your name, your phone number, a phone number that can accept a text, or a friend's phone number if you want, if you don't have one of those modern devices, and of course an email, okay? Now, our system, so in case you don't know, we've gone through some changes. And one of them is that we've implemented a new type of registering, or a new type of register. And with that, it allows us to offer these programs. So, we're asking that you enter that information. It will automatically send you a text or an email letting you know that you've reached that milestone. Now, it's up to you to come into the Spirit Bound Bookstore and, redeem it or save it for another time. It'll keep track of it, okay? So now, the other thing that we're implementing is for all you first-timers here at Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, if it's your first time here in our community, we are offering you a 10% discount. Gets a little bit better. If it's your birthday, we're also extending a 10% discount for any purchase you make at the Spirit Bound Bookstore. So I hope this encourages you. There's going to be more changes coming up front, but as they come up, I will make you aware of them. I'm also going to be announcing whenever we have a new product that we're introducing, just to make you aware of just something new that's coming up. I brought in recently the wooden jigsaw puzzle. We have 3 of them. But, you just can't take my word of how this is put together. So what I did is, I'm fortunate that I have a crew of volunteers that on occasions, well, they indulge me, okay? So with that said, I'd like to introduce Liz so that she can talk a little bit more as to, well, I challenge her to put one of these together. So you don't take my word, you take Liz. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you. It took me about 15 minutes to put this together. At first I didn't want to, and then I saw all the animal pictures in here. There's rabbits, wolves, stuff like that. So it took me a total of 15 minutes. But these are in the bookstore. Yes, it is fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Gilbert, for all those wonderful new innovations in the bookstore. And Liz, thank you for your courage, for coming up here. Wondering if there's a 10% discount for the first time announcing. Just also like to call up Lisa Kerr.
Wow, thank you. That's a great, that makes me feel really good. So my name, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Lisa Kerr. I'm a practitioner here at the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. And where I best find my connection with spirit is in nature. And so my mission, if I choose to word it that way, is to get everybody outside and to have fun. That was a great segue, thank you. Because what I have planned the weekend of August 3rd or 4th through 6th is a camping trip in the Pecos Wilderness at Jack's Creek. And we have several people that have signed up already. There's a couple of spaces left for people that wish to camp with us on Friday and Saturday nights and or Saturday night. Please let me know, and I'll put a sign-up sheet in the back for you to sign up if you're interested as well. We will be having fun. You don't have to camp. There are options to stay at the monastery up there. There's a Benedictine monk monastery. I think it's Benedictine. Anyway, there's a monastery in Pecos. You can stay there. The rooms are very affordable. It's close by, and it's going to be fun. For those of you that don't want to stay anywhere, just come up for the day on Saturday. We're going to be having a group picnic from 12 to 1:30. And we do need a head count for that because we're planning on cooking burgers and hot dogs and asking everybody to bring a side dish if they come up. Not everyone wants a burger or hot dog. If you want something else to throw on the grill, please bring it, because we're like, okay, we should do garden burgers and beyond burgers and whatever, and and we're just not going to go there. It's like, no, we have to limit it. But this will be fun. We will be getting outside and just having a great time. So I look forward to seeing all of you up there. For those of you that are on the list, I have directions to get up there, plus the gate code, because you'll need a gate code to get in. And I will also try to send you an email with those directions as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa, for all that you put into that, and for the alternative to camping. Next, I'd like to call up Sherry Newman.
Our first drumming circle is happening Wednesday. Finally. Y'all get here a little before 5 because drumming will start promptly at 5 p.m. and it will go from 5 to 6. If you don't have a drum, there will be some here. If you do have a drum, bring it. Our drum leader is named Jesse Kalapa, and he's very excited about offering drumming to all of us. And drumming is just a ball. It's a wonderful way to meditate with noise, which some people love to do. So, y'all come. I'm Sherry, Chief Cheerleader. Bye.
Thank you for all those, all of you for bringing your mojo and bringing the excitement of your events. You know, I'm not the most rah-rah guy in the world. Just not. Other events that are coming up, and next Sunday, I really want to emphasize the importance of this event, is after service, there'll be community visionings here at the center. So this is an opportunity to vision on behalf of the community. Everyone in the center, you're all part of this journey that we're all taking. And I'd like to personally invite you, and I'd like to thank Mark and Lisa and Gil for leading this endeavor. Also coming up starting on August 30th, there will be a new class starting. We have a current class going, but a new class starting on spiritual principles and practices. And that'll be facilitated by Kamatara. There's a picnic coming up on September 6th on Labor Day for the community. I also want to acknowledge someone else here. There's many people who visit the center that you never see, that they come through the airwaves of Zoom. I'm one of those people most of the time. And right now my beautiful wife is at home, Zooming in. And I'd like to also acknowledge Carol Scott for coming here today, and for her friend David for bringing her. Thank you. Checking, and you know, that's about it. Oh, there's one. Oh, yes, there is one more. And I really got reminded, and whew. The other one is a meeting to plan a community retreat, a retreat for the entire community. Marilyn Kirk is spearheading that mission. And it's going to take place not here. We've had retreats before, right here at the center. But this one is going to be up in the monastery in Pecos. It's a beautiful place to go for a retreat. It's cooler in Santa Fe, and this is a little bit north of Santa Fe and even more cool. And it's next week, on July 31st, there's going to be the first planning meeting for this group. So there's not a lot of time to sign up before the meeting actually starts. So definitely wanted to announce it today. And again, see Marilyn. Right by the prayer box, there's a sign-in place there, and there'll be one in the sanctuary as well. I want to thank Yvette about pausing, how important that is. I was reminding of Arjuna, the most famous warrior of his time, who paused before going into battle. And thank you, Bob and Bob and Susan and Bob, for the beautiful music today and reminding us that God is all there is. And then I'd just like to wrap up with the words of Coleman Barks. Thank you for the quality of your listening.
So it's time for our blessing. So close your eyes if you're comfortable. And I'm thinking about, what does this mean? What do I mean by blessing you? You are already blessed. It's like blessing the abundance that comes in. It's blessing the being of you. It's reminding you that you are blessed, that no matter who you are, that what you do, you are blessed, and you bring your blessings out into the world. And so in blessing, what I mean today is that I am grateful that you come here, that you fill yourself up, that you then go out and bring all of the good, all of the, whatever it is that you wish for, you bring that to the world. And so you are blessed. You are blessed, and you are a gift to the world. And so just keep that in mind as you leave today, as you know that every person here is blessed, every person online, every person who watches this later, who listens to it, that everyone involved is blessed because of who they are, because of the action they take, because of what they do. There's nothing else than that. And so, being grateful for each of you, please say with me, and so it is. Amen.
Stand up if you're able, if you feel like it. We're going to go out today with some Eddie Watkins Jr., just a little abbreviated part of one of his songs. I am the place where God shows up. You are the place where God shows up. And guess what? We are the place where God shows up, okay?